a YouTube video one day of Iman getting flown to New York to build a webinar for somebody.
No shit.
And I remember he said, yeah, they paid me 20 grand. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, you can do that? I didn't even know it was a thing. So I was like, I'm going to do that. And I was like, I don't know how to build a webinar. So I got all of Russel Brunson's shit. I watched all of it. And I started scouring in like the ClickFunnels Facebook groups. And then people would be like, webinar, I would just DM them. So before I even knew how to send DMs or like appointment set via DMs or DM text or whatever, I was literally booking my own calls. This really nice lady, Karen, I got her on a call. Most expensive offer I'd ever sold was like $1,000, I think, or $750 before that. It was like a Shopify website design or something. Because I didn't even know like to have one serve. I was just trying to do whatever to make money. I didn't know. And I had remembered, I was like halfway through the call, I was going to just build her a funnel. And I was like, you need a webinar. And she's like, what's that? And I was like, so here's how it works. This is what it looks like, whatever. She's like, okay, how much? And I remembered like in the moment, I was like, oh, Iman sold this for 20 grand. So I go 10 grand. And she pauses and I didn't even know to shut up after like you make a pitch then. Like I didn't know anything about sales. It was a 2-hour sales call, bro. Yeah. It was mostly an hour of like me just building rapport, and she liked me because I was like this young man. She was like in her 60s. Damn. And I was just like being very nice, genuine, talking about her family, whatever. And she waits. And bro, this was honestly like the start of the sales stuff. And she waits and she goes, oh, I thought it was going to be so much more expensive. And I was like, fuck. In my head, I was like, man.
Should have said 20, bro.
Bro, she pays right there. I sent her an invoice. She paid it. And I call my mom. And I'm like, Mom, I just made $10,000 in 2 hours. And she's like, what? I'm like, bro, my mom made 14 grand a year. Like raised me and my brother on 14 grand a year. She was a substitute teacher.
That's crazy.
Because she, like, there's no jobs where I'm from. So the only thing she could do with her degree, she got a bachelor's while we were going through crazy stuff, which is awesome for her. But there's no opportunity. So she was a sub. Subs don't get a lot of days to actually sub because the main teacher's there. So she's like, you just made 10 grand in 2 hours? I'm like, yeah. She's like freaking out. I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm like running around my trap house apartment in the hood in Dayton, Ohio. And I'm like, man, this is like the thing.
Yeah.
Dayton.
That was the start. Yeah, Dayton. That's where I went to college.
The Dayton Flyers?
Well, so Dayton is the main school. I went to Wright State, which is beside it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dayton.
Dude, there's no adrenaline rush like closing your first high ticket deal.
Bro, I still get it. Like,
Reminds me of Cherie, remember?
Yeah.
Bro, why was I thinking of her too?
Even before then. When
Our first close was like a nice older woman.
Even before then when we were doing Incubate. Like for me, just having those phone calls, I literally went through probably the same course. I went through Russell Brunson's like .com secrets, and they had like their sales training where they'd pass like this little microphone around and do like mock calls in this little office in this little den. And I stayed up from like 12 to like 3 a.m. just watching these because I had my first call. And we started this company and I didn't know like what my role was in the company. I was like, I'll do sales. And they're like, all right, Dan, you're doing sales. I was like, oh, fuck, I got to get some training. Because I'd done a bunch of like appointment setting. And we did some shit with like Instagram loop giveaways. But that first one, it was like $5 grand or something. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, holy shit.
Bro, you never
you put
forget.
You put it on mute. This was phone call instead of Zoom. So I just like put it on mute. I was like, fuck yeah. Such a great adrenaline rush.
You never forget it. And it was my own offer too. So I made the 10 grand. I was like, I literally just made 10 grand. And the most money I'd ever seen before that was like $700. So that was a light bulb. That was spring 2019 or spring 2020. I can't remember which one, but yeah, crazy.
Did you invest in a lot of different courses and like coaching stuff?
So I took that 10 grand and I went and bought Up Level. I went and bought Consulting
Was that
Accelerator.
Sam Evans?
Yeah. And then that's where that was the roots of where I learned to build info product companies.
Got it.
So I still ran the agency. That was the light bulb for sales, but I still thought, I should run an agency. So I just pivoted to info product. So before the sales thing was a thing, I was DMing big giant verified Instagram accounts that had programs, and I was like figuring out, they sell a high ticket offer. They need a funnel. They need to tweak their marketing. They need this to actually make the most of the traffic they have. So before sales was even in my mind, I was like, I'm just going to generate the infrastructure kind of thing. So I was selling like 10K, 20K, done for you, build it out myself. And then obviously that got old. So I was like, fuck this. And then just became a closer.
For the sales training piece specifically though, was there like a certain person that you would consume a lot of content from, or you kind of just took a bunch of
YouTube
calls
University, bro.
Yeah.
Like the first sales video I ever watched, I think was Bet David before Valuetainment was like a big thing. It was like a small business help thing. I bought Belfort's book and I was like, okay, this is cool, but that didn't really move the needle in the way I needed to. So it was literally just practice. It was like DMing people on my own, getting on my own calls with my own offer, learning why my offer didn't work. And then I could then figure out why the sales didn't work because something was wrong with the offer, because it's all connected.
Yeah.
And then even if I DM'd them something and then the call wasn't congruent, I would just see the little things. So I did thousands of these, bro, of just trying to sell random shit. And that's how I learned, to be quite honest. And then obviously I learned a lot once I was a full-time closer with like other closers and people that had been a bit more experienced than me. But starting off just that was just YouTube University.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this short clip, check out the full interview here. And if you want to see more clips from this episode, check it out right here.